Welcome back to our weekly Survivor recap, season 49, episode 11, the cherry on tippity top. Okay? And Charlie did remind me who said it?
Rizzo.
Rizzo did when he was really confused about two birds, one stone.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. He seems to say a lot of the episode names.
He really does.
Like, yeah.
He's got the liners.
He does.
Because he's Riz God.
Stop.
Okay, I'm sorry. I hate Maddie. No. Let's get to it, you guys. Night 19, post-tribal council. We did see Juwan go home, kind of unexpectedly. Christina is in absolute shock over everything that happened.
Yep.
She said, quote, I don't really know what's going on at this point.
It feels like she never really knows what's going on anyways, you know?
I'm surprised she's made it this far.
I won't lie, I have had that thought too. You know, she's pretty tight with Steven, but that's about it,
That's
you know?
it, yeah.
She did play her idol for Steven in the last tribal because she thought he was going home. So
Yeah.
she wasted her idol because neither her or Steven had a vote on them.
Which is so crazy, but that is the game of Survivor.
It is.
You just never know. It could be a make or break, or it could be you got 0 votes and you played your idol too early, but again, how are you supposed to know?
Right, exactly.
So, okay, so Christina's upset, upset she played her idol. Then you have Sophie, Steven, and Christina doing a little powwow. And Sophie, with an IE, saying, Steven and Christina have never really let me into their, inner circle, the total picture. So now that it's getting to brass tacks, I'm putting myself and my own game first. So now my job is to talk to Sage, and Sage was devastated about Juwan going home.
Was so upset.
The backstabbing of Sophie and everything.
And I was kind of surprised she fully blamed Sophie.
Yeah.
And it's not like Savannah and Rizzo. I mean, maybe she's so over Savannah and Rizzo, she's now after Sophie.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like, Sophie, you basically handed Savannah $1 million.
Yes, I know, right?
So Sage has her sights out for Sophie. So, when Sage gets mad,
when Sage gets mad, she basically everyone's gonna regret this.
Yes.
And I'm like, Sage, calm down.
Right.
Like, it's not your island, it's not your game.
Right. And I think she said a few times, if you vote for me against me, I'm coming out. You're going home.
You're going home.
So, it's like that little bit of big head, Like Sage, you don't really have much sway, especially now that Juwan's gone. But, we do go to our next day, and Rizzo and Soph are kind of talking, and they kind of set their sights on Steven, you know? So
I love, even Geraldo's kind of gotten sucked into this season, and he loves Steven.
I do like Steven.
We love you at my house,
Steven's a very likable person.
He really is.
I mean, I want to just hang out with him for all of his space facts.
There you go, because he is a rocket scientist after all.
Yeah, but Soph kind of says in this, though, too, she does know in her alliance with Savannah and Rizzo, she's at the bottom.
She's the third wheel.
She is. And so she's like, I know at some point I'm going to have to turn on them. Which I'm like, you should realize that and, not fully ride or die until the very end. You want to win that $1 million yourself.
I am very surprised at Soph's other side we're seeing.
I know.
She's just kind of like this meek, quiet, yay, kumbaya type girl. And now she's like, I understand what's going on here, and I will turn on anyone who tries to come for me. So good for her.
She's coming into her game a little bit more now.
Yeah. So then we have a boat arrive, and one of the survivors has to go on a journey. So one person must get on the boat for a strenuous journey. No one, really wants to go and exhaust themselves before the immunity challenge.
Which is understandable. At this point, you're so far in, you're exhausted. You're mentally, physically, emotionally drained.
Yeah. And basically everyone is like, I'm not going. I'd rather not. I want to sit this one out. They push Steven to go do the strenuous journey.
And I think Steven kind of wanted it. It came down to him and almost Sage. And Sage, he's like, do you want it? And Sage's like, I'm 50-50. If you want it, you go for it. And Steven's like, okay, I'll go for it. So then Steven goes off. And here comes his challenge. So he's on his own island.
Oh my gosh.
He has to navigate the perimeter of the island and find 6 numbers along the way. And this is a rocky coast. Let me tell you.
Slick.
Yes.
When he took that tumble on that wet rock.
I know.
I know what that feels like when you slip on a wet. Oh, I was like, poor guy, his tailbone. Got to be bruised.
Yeah. So then once he gets all 6 of those digits, he has to enter the code into a little turntable with them. And it unlocks a bat. And then he can bust open a pot that has an advantage. Now, the catch here is, if that pot drops into the ocean, because as the tide goes up, it's dropping that ball.
Yeah.
If it happens, he loses his vote and he doesn't get an advantage.
Exactly.
So,
and he knows he's on the chopping block, so that's why he's on this journey, to get that advantage and hopefully save himself.
Right. And he's like, even if I have 1 digit off,
everything's ruined.
Yeah, I can't go back. It's like too long.
He is running around the perimeter of this fairly big island for one
Yeah.
person to cover. And he does end up getting the code. He gets the pot. He gets the advantage. Thank goodness. Okay. So what exactly
His
was it
advantage
again?
was block a vote. So
Block a vote.
he does
yes.
have to announce whose vote he's blocking before he goes to tribal to the producers.
Yes.
So then once he gets back to camp, on the way back, he's even like, I was really debating, how do I lie? Do I lie? So he actually tells the truth, but here's the thing. He leaves out what his advantage is, which
Yeah.
is smart.
Yeah.
I think. But here, Rizzo instantly starts thinking. Rizzo, he's close. I will see
kinda
he's
is.
close. He thinks that Steven has a steal a vote.
Yes,
Which-
he's like, I know this for a fact. It's steal a
Yeah.
vote. He starts telling everybody at the camp, okay,
Yep.
Steven's got to steal a vote.
Well, he even tells Steven he thinks he has a steal vote. And Steven's like, that's great because that's a step higher than what I actually have.
So Rizzo sees me as like a top
Exactly.
contender here, you know?
Yeah. So that, doesn't play too much right now. But
Yeah.
we do get into our immunity challenge.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this immunity challenge. Okay, everyone again for themselves. Wearing a belt with a rope that's attached to a rotating disc. Then you have to kind of like race to stack the block letters that spell immunity. But as each survivor kind of moves back to get the blocks, the disc is spinning, making it more difficult to keep the blocks stacked. If the blocks do fall, they got to start all the way over. And then the first person to spell immunity and get their feet on the platform for 3 full seconds wins immunity
Yep.
and a reward. That reward is spaghetti, meat sauce, pesto, garlic bread, tiramisu, juices, all the good
The
things.
perfect Italian meal for
the
the
carbo
island.
load they need after an immunity
Exactly.
challenge like
Yeah.
this.
I did like this challenge. I will say it's nothing crazy though. It does come pretty close to a few people.
Between Sage, Steven, Savannah even.
Yeah. So, but ultimately, Steven does pull off the win.
Thank God.
I love when somebody who is being targeted wins because then that makes them rearrange.
It's even better, yes.
Yes.
That revenge is so sweet.
Yeah. So then Steven gets to pick two people to go with him to his reward
Yes.
meal. He picks Christina because she used the idol, which, we're not surprised.
Yeah.
I will say the one I was surprised by, he picks Rizzo because Rizzo hasn't really eaten.
I did not pick up on that, and I was also very surprised. But I'm like, you know what? Good move by Steven, because he knows Rizzo is not in his corner.
Yeah.
But maybe this will literally sweeten the deal with some
Right.
tiramisu.
Exactly. So then back at camp, you have our other tribe members, Savannah, Soph, and Sage. They're kind of discussing about getting Sophie out. So the sites have kind of started to shift. Rizzo and Sage, they're kind of also discussing Sophie. Everybody seems to be discussing Sophie except poor Sophie.
Except for poor Sophie. Sophie's trying to find somebody. And then, there's also Christina, who definitely wants Savannah out. Sophie definitely wants Savannah out.
Yep.
So there becomes this kind of, 4v3,
Yeah.
Is it between Sophie
Yeah.
and Savannah going
It's
out?
between those two.
Yeah.
So then we get to tribal council. This is where I zone out of the chitter chatter.
Yeah,
Nothing
it's-
really interesting happened. They're feeling too long this season.
Here's the thing, though. Steven did not use his block a vote.
Yes.
He's saving it.
Which is
because
smart.
he got immunity.
Yeah,
So
we
he
don't
doesn't
need it.
need to worry. He doesn't need to block a vote.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get down to tribal council, like we said, between Sophie and Savannah. Savannah, 1 vote. Sophie, 6 votes.
Yep. So goodbye, Sophie. Welcome to the jury.
Welcome to the jury.
I will say, though, I did love Jawan and Sage's reactions to each other as Jawan's sitting over there in the tribal
I mean,
council.
Sage broke down in tears about how awful she felt that
Yeah.
Jawan went home, and she's like, basically, like, I'm seeking revenge for you.
Yeah.
Like, this is the Simba story.
Right, exactly, yes. I do think it was smart for them to get out Sophie. She is a good challenge player. And, I mean, she's got some social strategy to her as well. So I'm curious now, who they're going to start aligning their targets. We're dwindling down to the finale.
Literally 2 more weeks.
We have to this week, next week, and then the finale's the week after.
So this week, after this week, 2 more weeks, you guys. And we're going to be recapping it all the way to the bitter end to name season 49 Survivor. You guys don't miss it.